Hi, everybody. Thank you for letting me be here. This is such an exciting day. First of all, of course, it's the 6th anniversary of NMPC. And it's also the 2nd anniversary for me overseeing this amazing group. So this means a lot to me to be here on this opening day. And before 2 years ago, when this oversight began, even years before that, I remember the discussions of, we've outgrown our building, we need new space, we need something for us to grow and increase our capacities, and that day's here. So to have come full circle is really amazing. So I'm sure I will forget somebody, but I want to thank the team that made this look so flawless. So of course Carol is our fearless leader, and then CJ I think was the project lead for the actual move, and then we have Adrian, and we had Mervin, and we had Jing, and we had Kat, and I'm sure there's a host of others, so I apologize if I forgot anybody, but really there was a lot of effort, and there were times when I was a little nervous, but you know, you guys did it, you pulled it off, you did it spectacularly, so congratulations on a job well done.
Okay, so as I was saying, great job to the Manila team for the new facility. And I also want to say thank you to, first of all, Yoshimatsu-san for allowing this investment to happen, and Nidec Corporation. It really says a lot about their faith in what we're doing here and what we can continue to do to put the money in for this amazing office in this great location. So, very exciting. So, amidst all the celebration and partying, which is so much fun, there's a reason why we're here, and that is to support the businesses in the most productive and efficient way to meet the goals of the businesses. Before I came to Manila on Sunday, I spent the 3 days prior in Kyoto, and Saturday was spent at the Global Policy Meeting. And the Global Policy Meeting is the times every 6 months where the focus of what the business wants us to really drive for is explained to us. And in that meeting, Mr. Nagamori, our chairman and founder, focused on 3 areas that we really need to make our focus. The first one is to be sales growth oriented. We really need to drive that top line growth. And you know what? This team here has a role in that. A lot of things get a lot better when you have sales growth. So we're going to focus on top line growth at SIM, is the group that a lot of us support. So there's a lot more focus on those areas and how we can improve our profit performance versus the business plan. Green flag, the CRM implementation work, which is giving better information to our salesmen to know how to go out and get more customers. You've got the lead generation work going, which is giving new ideas for top line growth. You've got the data warehouse, which is providing sales reports that are providing more valuable information to our salesmen. So this group needs to contribute more in those areas to help the divisions grow their top line growth. The second objective is we need to make it normal to perform better than our business plan. So make no doubt about it, the business plan is very aggressive, but that doesn't mean we can make excuses for why we can't make it. Instead, we've got to make actions to why we will make it and exceed it. And third, we need to work better and double our productivity. Again, I think the team here is undergoing a lot of the productivity driving, doing things most cost effective, and automating a lot of the things that we used to do manually. So this team has a lot of areas that support these initiatives. And Mr. Nagamori will be visiting in MPC in February, so I want you to take that opportunity to show him all the great things that you're doing to fulfill his goals. Q2 just ended, but those results haven't been published yet, so I want to talk to you a little bit about the performance of the business. And these are the results for Nidec in total as of Q1. So Q2 doesn't come out for about 2 weeks. And I wanted to explain them to you. So first of all, they're in yen. And if you look at the sales growth, 24.2% growth. That's, well, 24.2% growth, and operating profit ratio 11.4%. So I'm going to give you the positive interpretation of these results first. 24.2% growth, that's amazing. It's being driven significantly by our acquisitions, which are LSCT, Canton Elevator, and LGB. Now in Q2, the CCOP acquisition closed, so when those results come out, we'll also probably see growth from that. Also, this is the highest quarterly sales and OP for Nidec ever. So obviously that's great news. Now I want to put a little different spin on it, on why we need to do better. So first of all, of that 24.2% growth, a lot of it came from the acquisitions, and we need more organic growth. We need the businesses to expand what they're doing without acquisitions. And for the operating profit ratio, a lot of times when there's an acquisition, that first initial time, there's one-time costs. And so to be able to hold 11.4% OP with those one-time costs shows that the other businesses were contributing. But if we put it in the perspective of what our Vision 2020 is, 2020 is only 3 years away, and the target for Nidec Corporation is to be at 2 trillion yen. So let's say we're at 300 million, I'm not sure. And you multiply that by 4 to annualize it, we're at 1.2, 1.3. We need to be to 2 trillion in 3 years. So that's going to require significant growth to get from 1.3, 1.4 to the 2 trillion. And our OP target is going to be 15%. Right now we're at 11.4. That's a significant improvement in OP. So we have to do a lot in the next 3 years to achieve those targets. Most of the people in this business support ASIM, the Appliance, Commercial, and Industrial Motors Division. So I want to talk a little bit about how their performance is. Okay, this is a hard chart to read and it's not meant to be read, but I just want to explain it to you. This is for the first half. All you have to do is look at the colors. So here we have all the businesses of ASIM. And there's a method on how the performance is graded. Every single business has 2 flags. The top flag is the year-to-date sales performance versus the business plan, and the bottom flag is the year-to-date operating profit performance versus the business plan. Green flag, you can see some green flags throughout here, means the business plan was achieved. That's what we're going for, achieving the business plan. Yellow means that we were within 90% of achieving the business plan, and a red flag means it was under 90% achievement. ASIM in total for the first half is yellow, yellow. So clearly there's some room for improvement to get to green, green. You can see a few reds here. EPG's OP, EPG is part of the LSCT group, and SIM OP. And SIM is the group that a lot of us support. So there's a lot more focus on those areas and how we can improve our profitability there. So how are we going to do it? First of all, top line growth. A lot of things get a lot better when you have sales growth. So we're going to focus on top line growth at SIM. You probably have seen that there's been a reorganization of the business between kind of similar to the old industrial and commercial residential again. So we're trying to make the focus on driving those sales and driving that profitability. Next, we're going to focus on the LSCT post-merger integration acceleration. There are a lot of one-time costs and a lot of hurdles that have to happen when you acquire a company. The quicker you get through those and move on to growing the business, the better. So we're going to focus on that. And third, as I said, there was an acquisition in Q2 called CCOP, and it's for the global appliance business. And we want to improve that profitability by getting that post-merger integration done as quickly as possible too. So that's how we're going to get to green, green. So when we talk about the productivity initiatives, again, there is a lot of work being done at NMPC to support that. We had a very successful trip back in August where Carol and Janet and Mervyn visited several of the companies that we support. And I'll say that the way that the team was welcomed was really very positive. I was a little bit surprised about how appreciative the teams were of the support and so eager to think what they can do more here. What can they do that's going to save them costs or increase their output or somehow positively impact the business. There was the potential of 17 new heads that came from that trip, so we need to better understand how that adds to the productivity, but again, it was a very successful trip. And going forward, a lot of what we can do to help with the productivity is make technology improvements. So when I was here back in January, one of my favorite comments came from Chris Wiseman when he said, I want this team not to be told how to do things better. I want this team to lead the productivity improvements. And what I've seen in some of the areas that I focus most directly in is that this team embraces technology where a lot of people in the US are a little hesitant, a little shy about it. I was very excited yesterday when I heard from Geraldine that one of the technology improvements that we had hoped to do but we couldn't quite figure out how to afford it, you guys figured out a way to do it on your own for free. So that's amazing. We went from 4 hours to a half hour every day on a project, increasing that productivity so we can spend that time, those resources on something more value added. So anywhere you look around here, there's some great examples of driving productivity. Several of the initiatives that we have going on are in customer service. We've got the data warehouse that's going to take away some of the manual work that's been done to create automated reports. And we've just started that with the first wave, and after that, there's many more waves to come. The CRM tool, Office 365, we just got approval for robotic process automation for the customer service group. We're automating cash applications, and going forward, we've got a lot of new initiatives, including going paperless, accounts payable processes, and fixed asset processes. And I'm sure I'm missing several others. But the point is, there's several things that you can do to drive productivity. It's embracing the changes, leading the changes, and really just coming up with new ideas on how we can do things better and smarter. So I think that's it. That's all I have. I want to thank you all for your support, your hard work, and the ability to move into this new facility to invest in you further. Thank you.
Thanks, Beth. Thanks, Beth. And at this point, we would also like to request Mr. Yoshimatsu to say a few words for the Manila team.
Thank you very much, my colleagues in Manila, Philippines, and thank you for invitation to this very important event of inauguration ceremony. Actually, 2 years ago, back in August 2015, I visited Manila together with Beth and Mark Fleming, and we asked a consultant to show around excellent shared service center in Manila. And we visited German pharmaceutical company, Bayer, and also a US automotive tire maker, Goodyear. And I was so impressed the office environment compared to previous NPC office. And Carol joined that tour. And I had an ambition and dream to provide you such an environment. And this time I'm also surprised. You did it. Yeah. So congratulations. I'm a president and CEO of America's holding company, NSC, working together with Beth. And also, currently, I'm European-based, and I'm a chairman of European headquarters, NEN. And June this year, we moved to new office in Netherlands. The total of 30 headcounts. So just 1/10 of your total headcounts. But it was a very tough project for us. And I cannot imagine how you could manage such a tough and difficult project. So without excellent teamwork, you could not accomplish it. So I really appreciate Carol for your leadership and the teamwork of management team. Congratulations again. So at the Thanksgiving Mass, I recognize that I am one of those who let the priest or father felt uncomfortable since I was not Filipino. But I feel now very comfortable with our Filipino colleagues. And as you know, we acquired LSCT business at the end of January. Shortly after, Mr. Nagamori, Chairman and CEO of Nidec, comments like this. We acquired Amazon US business 7 years ago, September 2010, And this year, we acquired major business of Amazon. Those are LS and CT. So why don't we acquire Amazon Total? So currently, the office of MHC locates in one of the buildings in Amazon campus in St. Louis. And 42 colleagues joined from Amazon Share Subcenter to this building. So it may happen, probably. So St. Louis Amazon campus will become Nidec campus. And you may move to larger office again. So you just accomplished a great project. But in the future, we may have such a very exciting challenge. So like this speed of growth of Nidec, I believe you can also grow personally and professionally. That's one of the greatest opportunity for everybody. So there are lots of challenges. Our largest and important customer is ASIM, as Beth presented. And unfortunately, ASIM is the only business unit who could not attain the business plan for first half of this fiscal year. So therefore, Kay, business leader of ASIM, has been asking Beth and me to provide a better quality work with a lot lower cost. So therefore, we have to work to double our productivity to meet our important customers' expectation. So those are the challenges. So with this said, let's continue to our challenge. And congratulations again. And after this, we have a very interesting cultural presentation.
Yes.
Although we miss Hotel California tonight. But let's enjoy together. Thank you.
Thank you, Yoshimatsu-san. All right, so that wraps up the State of the Business Update. We appreciate